It actually starts with you here. Yeah. Because I think also because as you walked in, a gentleman walked in with your fatherly figure. Did your father pass?
Yes.
And quite a few years ago, though, initial hour.
That's my father-in-law.
Is it your father-in-law? Okay, sorry, that's your father-in-law.
Yeah,
And
that's very close to me.
it's definitely coming through as a fatherly figure, yeah. And your mother-in-law is still here, though, isn't it?
Yes. 95.
Sure.
And very with it.
Very much so, yeah. And so he's coming through and he's sending a big hug and he's saying thank you. Does she live close by or with you? Or okay. And the initial B, is that the mother-in-law? Ah, okay.
Thank you.
And also they have a daughter as well?
They've got twin daughters, Sherilyn and Eileen.
Oh, well, that's helpful. It's the first one. Is she going through a hard time at the moment? Okay. What I'm getting is he's doing that. So I don't know if that means she's going through a hard time or is she having the tendency to be a bit like worrying a lot or hectic a lot or stresses a lot. That one. Because he goes like, so that can either mean it's going to get better or she needs to slow down or chill. The chill part. Yeah, I thought as much. So, but it is, but he was a quite, we've got this kind of thing. So, yeah, but she needs to relax a bit. But it's like he is around and there's a birthday coming up soon. Somewhere on that side. So, but she is, and your mother-in-law is still going very strong, hey? And she's very chatty, isn't it? Because he goes like, but he has the biggest smile, and he's also showing that is your daughter about to travel?
Yes.
The toddler.
She's going overseas.
Okay, because this is him also giving the thumbs up for it because there was a big like of back and forth about it and a bit of like a hoo-ha about it, and it's now flowing. And she can be a bit dramatic.
She studied drama.
Oh well, good for her to make a career out of it. But it came through at the end. She was very disappointed because something initially didn't come through the way she wanted it to. And this time something came through and it's actually a better option, even though it wasn't necessarily what she initially wanted. But her having made drama her career is the best thing she could have ever done. So this is... But that's what it takes. That she, and I'm glad she actually went that way and she is in her element. So yay. That's definitely there. I love that. And I'm glad she had the guts to make it her.
We had a lot of pushback. How do you do that? At the age of 3, she's been on a stage.
Perfect.
She's behind the scenes involved with the movie, as well as her other job.
Oh, awesome. And thanks for supporting that, because very often there's the thought, she needs a proper job first. I'm sure, let her be an accountant first. So it's like, so kudos to you for actually doing that. And I know when we say those things, so very often when those kind of advice come, it comes from a good place. It's just not very helpful. It comes from like, we want to make sure that they earn money and that they're safe and secure. But then we very often, I mean, how many of us here had very different ideas of what we wanted to do and then went a different, safer option? A show of hands, if you don't mind. Yeah, so, and then we never really gave ourselves permission to integrate that back in, not even necessarily as a main job, but not even like on a hobby kind of regular basis on this side. And it's a real pity, because that was soul food. And we don't even give ourselves permission to have it as a permanent side thing for us, even just on a private kind of level, because it's like, and then we declare it as not important enough, because it wasn't declared as important enough when we really had the passion for it. So whatever that thing is, please get it back in. no matter in which way. Get it back in. It was there for a reason. Give it space. And it doesn't have to be a business. It doesn't have to make money. Give it space. It's soul food. So, right, let's see. Your hubby is in a game reserve. Are we surprised?
No.
He's got this whole kind of like game hat thing on, and the like cocky kind of like, he is looking the part. He's also blowing a kiss, and he's also showing that, did you just travel recently or about to travel?
I have traveled recently.
Okay, and you're planning the next trip?
I'm thinking
Because he is like, you keep going. Because he's all for it, and he also says, don't worry so much, because you're quite worried, you're quite preoccupied with some worries at the moment. And he is like, don't worry too much. A, it's not as big and as bad as you think it is. And secondly, it will kind of, he does that. So that means it's either gonna go or it will find its space, or it's in short, it's not as big as you think it is. And plan that trip. And oh, he's sitting there with another gentleman. I'm just trying to see. Just trying to find out who this other, someone that passed shortly after him. An elderly gentleman, and also it was, I don't think it was family, it was more a family friend who passed shortly after him. There was something going on like with lungs and like stuff like that. Okay, just let it sit in, but they are having a braai thing and everything going on in the middle of the bush. And he goes like, I'm right there.
He's doing good spotting for me when I do go up traveling the game reserve.
Well, one thing is for sure, there is no way he ain't in the game reserve and you go there. But you guys like two peas in a pod, and that will never ever change. And he is like right there. And but yeah, he's kind of like doing the pre-spotting. Also something about health stuff going on at the moment. And that's why he's saying it's not as big. It's something that needs to be seen too, but it's not as big as you fear it to be. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Because he says not on his watch. So deep breath, because you're also waiting for either some kind of results or other tests or something at the moment, do you?
I'm waiting for a test.
And you're waiting for results?
For results.
Are you waiting for results? Okay. And were they as bad as you thought?
No.
Exactly. That's why he said, start breathing. All right. So time for a holiday. Right. Right here, was there like a fatherly uncle figure or someone that had passed here? Okay, because it's more linked to the young man here. So was it like his uncle then? Okay. Were you quite close to your uncle? Because he's coming through and he goes like that. And also, are you quite sporty? And did you recently either just reach something or achieve something or like qualify for something? Because he's kind of like, I was right there, you go boy. So, so this is him being right there. And also, and he's got the biggest grin on his face. So what happened in the sports thing? Captain for sports, well done, well done. Well done. So yeah, you're definitely being more than supported from the other side, but you worked hard for it. It shows. It wasn't just you've been given it for any other reason, but you worked really, really hard for it. And you, young lady, you are very arty, isn't it? And also, there's a lot of books around you. Do you read a lot? And have you just, is there a birthday around you or something coming soon? There's some celebrations. Is there a family gathering or something coming up? It's a wedding. Okay. Because I'm being shown the gathering and everything. And are you playing any specific role in that wedding? Okay, because he shows me you all dressed up and all kind of like being really important in the wedding, and you looking just stunning and beautiful, and it's a very special role you're playing in the wedding. And he goes like, I know. So, you go, girl. And somebody's coming from quite far away for the wedding as well. Okay, so is that where the aeroplane's coming in? All right. So there's so many blessings coming. There were some hiccups with the setting up of the wedding. Okay, and it's finally going right. It's quite a biggish wedding, hey? Phew. But so many blessings and so much excitement and anticipation, and it's just a beautiful thing. So, have you chosen your outfit? Ah, you go, girl. Can I have your pen, please? Thank you. There's also a grandmotherly figure around. Is there a grandmother that you've lost as well? Yeah, she's got a lot of bangles on. Because she's all kind of excited for the wedding as well. Sweet lady, but she could also, so it's like definitely the matriarch of the family. And as sweet as she could be, she would also like lay down the rules. And she could cook like no tomorrow, because I get the nicest food smells around. It's like, ooh, but you don't mess with the recipes. So it's like you do it properly and from scratch. But there's just all these beautiful blessings coming from the other side for this wedding coming up, and the beautiful excitement about it. And yeah, beautiful thing. So are you about to move? Okay, let me rephrase that. Fair answer. I am being shown moving boxes around you. And when I'm being shown moving boxes, I'm being shown in two ways. One is open, that means it's not decided it clearly. But it's there. But it's there not out of duress because you have to, but because you choose to moving forward. That also means you've played with the thought. Have you?
Well, my landlord's retiring at the end of this month, and it's attached to his home, so I don't know what his plans are.
Well, it might not be your most convenient idea that he has, but it's definitely going to be in your best interest. So it's a little bit kind of like a push that comes from the universe and say, you wanted a change for a while, yet comfort zones are a bit of a two-edged sword, isn't it? Because it says there's nothing wrong with the cottage as such or whatever, but it says you can do it a change of scenery. And was that also a change of suburbs? You do your own negotiation with Spirit World, okay?
I grew up in this suburb.
Well, I grew up in Germany, and here I am. So the ifs and buts and small prints is up to you. I see your open moving box. Do with it whatever you like. There's free will. That's the beauty about it. They guide. What we do with it is up to us. So, I mean, when I was small, I was told I'm never going to leave town. I'm going to be ending up being married with 4 kids. Like, what? I'm the only one that got away. Everybody else is still in the same little, very beautiful, scenic Bavarian town. But yeah, no 4 kids and not in Bavaria. But there's no wrong or right. There's only ever free will. But embrace the idea of it and see how you feel about it. I always say feel into it. Don't think into it. Feel into it. feel into it. The thinking, we know what that does. So, but it is there for all the right reasons. Also, you need changes. Did you have any joint operations, like on joints? Abdomen. More than one. Right. Okay, just a little bit, because metaphysical stuff is like one of my passions. And this is like the body is telling us how we actually, in this case, digest life. Because the body is always in reaction to how we perceive life, consciously or subconsciously. And obviously there's nuances to it. So it's really just in a nutshell right now. So the digestive system and your abdomen and all of that showing up, it really means the way our life is set up, or parts of it, is too much for me to digest. Now, with having had several operations, and I'm sure there's obviously details to it, means certain aspects of it, when it's reoccurring that it needs several operations, A, it's there for a very long time, and B, we haven't moved the trigger. It can be an internal trigger, can be an external trigger, can be a belief system, can be an environment, can be a relationship, but as long as it needs ongoing whatever, it means we haven't moved the trigger. And but again, I leave that with you in the moving box. I do know that you know what I mean with that and had to look into it. So that's why I can just like drop it. It's kind of like, this is your bomb. Right. It also warns about a male around you having two-faced intentions. I'll leave that with you. No, but it would only come through if you already have a bit of like about someone around. It wouldn't come through if you would be completely unaware of it. It wouldn't come through if you only have very safe people that you feel very much aligned. It would be with someone that you already go like, and then we normally override it because we don't have evidence. So you don't need evidence. By the time we have evidence, we're already too far down the rabbit hole. So gut feel does not need evidence, full stop. Brain is a bit too slow for that. So, right. So a lot of moving going on. Are you guys also planning on moving? I'll make everybody move today. Everybody move. Not of lately. What about the future? With you guys, it's more like plus minus in a year's time. But there's just general showing there's quite a few decisions around you at the moment. There's hesitation. There's also a bit of waiting about other things falling into place first. And some of them you have to wait for, but others you can speed up a bit. Because it's like, unless that's happening, we're not going to do that and that. And it's a bit of a catch-22 with timing. But it also says there's the power of manifestation as well, as in saying, like, we're going to do this anyway, because if that doesn't come through, the current isn't ideal for us. Either way, we're not keeping this. So where I get that with it, but it says the current ain't ideal. So I do think it's going to come through whatever you're waiting for, but with delay. Can you relate to that? But it says don't wait too long with the other ones. You can start making those decisions, because either way, those decisions need to be made. You know, sometimes there is this whole kind of like, very often people say to me, like, what's lined up? I'm like, well, that's what's lined up. But the time frames is like, how you're going to line yourself with it. There's what the universe has there, and there's like how you line yourself with it. And then the same thing is like, how long will it take? How long do you want it to take? So, because the thing is, when people say, I'm manifesting, like, yeah, but we manifest from fear and leave a back door open. So the universe is like, do you want it? Don't you want it? So it's like, I want it, but, oh, so she doesn't want it. Well, if you want it, align yourself and then stop the back doors. As long as you leave back doors open, the universe is like, yes, no, yes, no. The universe is a matching system. And as long as you go, bad, it goes like, I'll wait till the order comes. It's like the universe reacts to clear energies. I want the change, but. And yes, sometimes we have to wait like the job offer comes through or whatever else, but then certain things like, oh, I can't sell the house or doesn't that till that, well, sell the house anyway because you're going. Because what's happening right now is not good for you or whatever it might be. So it might not be that job, but staying here is established is not good. So this is this bargaining stuff that we are having. There is a dog here. It's kind of like an Alsatian kind of dog. Who lost an Alsatian in this corner? An Alsatian-looking dog. Like it's an Alsatian mix, not like what I would say medium-sized dog. Anybody lost an Alsatian-looking dog? You?
It wasn't an Alsatian. It was a lab cross with a German Shepherd.
So like a mixed kind of thing. Okay. Oh, that's why he's here. That would make sense because you're right. Yeah, gee. Firstly, more than fine. And also, you have to put him down.
Oh, we had to do him away because with my son twice.
Okay. But he's not alive anymore because he had to be put down. And because he says, I'm not mad. And yes, he bit, which he shouldn't have by all means. But he's just coming through saying that he is not mad. And because it really hurt you that you had to give him away as much as you had to do what you needed to do. But he was really sick then as well. So he was treated well where he was. And he just didn't like kids. And that's okay. I mean, not that he was allowed to hurt anyone, but he needed to be in an environment without little kids. And he was looked after, okay, but he was sick. And he says, I wasn't mad. And he's saying he's sorry, but he was okay. And he's on the other side, but he loved you. Was it like your dog? So he's coming through, say, please don't feel bad. You did the right thing. And he is okay. It's a beautiful dog. Beautiful. Doesn't matter 2 legs, 1 leg, 3 legs, 4 legs. Connection is connection. And that's just that. Sure, okay, let me do 2 more. I told you, me and time. I have a lady here in spirit. I'm not quite sure who, she'll bear with me. It's a Kathy or Catherine, or does anyone have a Kathy or Catherine in? Catherine, okay. She was also quite sick for quite a while before she passed. And she didn't get to say goodbye before she passed. Even though she was sick for quite a while, all of a sudden things went very, very quick. Because she goes like it was a long, quite a journey with her health, but then it just spiraled like that. And before anybody could, she just couldn't. She says, but I need to let them know I heard every word, I just could not respond. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because she had no control over her body or anything anymore at that stage. She says, but I heard every word. I need them to know I heard every word. So, and she makes me aware of at least 3 people around. 3 people around. Because I can't see them because her eyes are closed, but I hear voices, different voices. Which when she passed. Who was around when she passed? And who are the other 2 voices?
I'm not sure who the other 2. I was away.
Mm-hmm.
The other sister was in Johannesburg.
Okay.
And
So,
very bad diabetes.
oh, okay.
And she got
Because she makes me aware of 3 voices predominantly, the female, 2 female ones and a male one, but because I can't get a visual because her eyes were closed and she went into, she was either unconscious or in whatever, but that, she's not giving me a visual, but there's 2 female and a male voice. And she says, I heard every word, I just could not respond. And she says, thanks for the flowers. Did she like flowers? And she is sitting in a garden and she says, I'm good, I'm good. And something about her ring. Is there anything going on with her ring after her passing?
She had my mom's ring, so probably.
Okay. But she's sitting in a garden. She looks very happy. She looks very healthy. And did she like gardens itself? Because you could see it's like one of her happy places that she is sitting. And she has a huge cake and some tea next to her. She's kind of like, but she's sending so much love. And yeah, she just kept on like, I couldn't say goodbye. And it's like, it spiraled. And then there was red tape and there was a lot of hiccups around the technical hiccups around her. And she was one who didn't like a lot of hoo-ha around her at all. So all that stuff was like very much unlike who she was. Sure. All right. Are you about to study something? No pressure. No, but what it's saying, it's like, and seriously, and as much as I'm joking about it a bit, it's not about pressure. What it is saying is that whatever there is to study, so what you want to go towards, don't do what you think you need to do what you're drawn to do, because there's two different kind of things. One that you think you should be doing, and one that you really want to do. Do that one. Because the one that you haven't started is the one you think you should do. That's why you haven't started it yet, isn't it? Because that's why they're saying don't force yourself to do the one that you're not drawn to, because why? So the one that you are drawn to is the next stepping stone. Does that make sense? So I always say, like, be very harsh on ourselves with things like, I should be doing that. I haven't. I'm such a procrastinator. Did it occur to you that it's not yours to do? We hit ourselves over the head with, I should. And when we are in that space, then let's just look at it, but why should I? What is the thing that holds me to it? And yes, the logic, well, the brain will tell you why, because your brain can be a little bugger. But I mean, really, it's like if you're drawn to something repeatedly, it's looking for a space in your life. And if you're repelled from something or pushed away from something, it's kind of saying, does it need to be there? At least does it need to be there right now? So it's always going to be, as you know, free will. But yeah, that's what the guides are coming up with. And also what we're drawn to, we will automatically not procrastinate. And that's the law of energy. Nobody's going to have to convince you to do things you are excited about. It's like they normally have to convince you to do dishes. But that's the law of energy. And I always say that anything that makes time stand still, do more of that. And I don't mean scrolling on the internet. But truly, if it's painting, if it's meditation, if it's whatever it is, anything that for you makes time stand still is direct soul food. Anything you do and all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, there's 2-3 hours. Do more of that because it feeds the right energy. So any time warp and stuff, do it. Absolutely do it. And of course, I don't mean mindless scrolling or those, but true soul food. Go for it.